When I was a kid, my mother and father let me be who I wanted to be, whoever that was. They let me dress how I wanted and play with whatever I wanted. I felt confident in who I was, but the real world had other plans. When I was in kindergarten, I loved to play with Barbies. I wanted to have long hair, have sparkly dresses, and I loved the color pink. I did not care. The other boys at school played the boy games. Lego, army figurines, things that I just did not like, things that would later make me feel shame.
Why don't you play the boys' games?
I did not know what to tell them. I didn't know what to say. I just did not want to. Who cared what I played? The teachers would ask,
"Why don't you go play with the boys? The Barbies are for the girls. Young boys should be playing with things like Lego." By preschool, children understand gender categories and the pressure to conform to the category associated with their biological sex. Wonder, unsure, embarrassed.
In grade 2, we did an assignment where the teacher asked us,
"What do you want to be when you grow up? I want you to share your answers with each other."
I said that I wanted to be a doctor and a mother.
Don't be silly, Brian. You can be a dad, but not a mom.
The teacher phoned my mother to explain what I had said. She wanted my mother to keep an eye on my behavior. The teacher said she was concerned for me. There might be something wrong in my head. I felt ashamed. I felt like I had done something wrong. I kept hearing her voice in everything I did.
Brian, you're a boy. You can never be a mother. Mothers are girls. Confusion, curiosity. Who am I? Why?
By grade 6, I knew that I was different and it wasn't going to change. My mom made me go to the school dance. When I arrived, I realized that the dance floor was divided. Girls on one half, boys on the other. The genders were sided. I didn't know where to go. I looked and dressed like the boys, but I longed to stand with the girls. They all looked so poised. Rather than decide and face the reaction of my classmates, I decided to spend the evening in the bathroom, alone. I started to hate who I was, and this started the next phase in my life, denial and depression. My junior high years were the worst of my life by far. I had finally accepted that I was a girl trapped in a boy's body.
Children's cognitive development allows them to make social comparisons and to form an abstract concept of the self.
I did not know what to do. The other kids began to bully me more. I was called a
fag, loser, freak, worthless, whore,
and many other words that made me feel like I was lower than the lowest. I felt like I would never find anyone to love me for who I was. Nobody noticed. I began going to school less and less, and my grades began to suffer, but I didn't care.
96% of transgender participants experience physical harassment, and 83% experience verbal harassment at school. Transgender youth are at risk for dropping school, running away from home, and becoming homeless.
I decided to confront a teacher and explain to them the problems I was facing. One of my teachers told me to
man up, and the kids will leave you alone.
The other teacher I confronted talked to the students who were involved with the bullying, but things only got worse. The teachers never stopped other students from making
fag, queer, dyke
jokes. I hated these teachers, and I felt like these issues could have been brought up in class, but they weren't. At this point, the physical abuse started. I tried to hide, to stay quiet, but the bullies couldn't be thwarted, and the teachers did nothing. Looking back, I realized that the teachers were not educated about students like me. They did not know how to react. Many thought it was just a phase that I would grow out of. They were wrong.
Transgender students were more likely to feel unsafe at school, with 80% of transgender students reporting that they felt unsafe at school because of their gender expression. Hopelessness, depression, sadness, self-consciousness, hatred.
This is when I hit rock bottom. I found my dad's bottle of whiskey and drank it, and it felt good. It gave me such a rush. Before I knew it, I drank half the bottle. It felt good. I remember lying in my bed and feeling, for the first time in a long time, whole. It was turned into a vicious cycle, drinking to feel better, and then feeling worse. To this day, I stay away from alcohol. My parents got concerned. We moved. I went to a new school, new town. Nobody knew who I was. I had a fresh start. By this time, I started high school, and I decided to identify myself as a female. This gave me hope. I called myself Rihanna. High school was the turning point in my life. During social class, my teacher assigned us a reading from the textbook. To my surprise, the reading touched on transgender issues. In the following class, the teacher elaborated on these issues and explained what a student like me might be struggling with. I decided to tell this teacher about what I was going through.
Have you heard of the Gay Straight Alliance Club at our school?
I decided to check it out. For once, I felt like I was not alone. There were students like me.
Students with a Gay Straight Alliance in their school were less likely to feel unsafe because of their sexual orientation than those without Gay Straight Alliance. Yet less than half of students had a Gay Straight Alliance or similar club. Hope, warmth, happiness, acceptance, relief.
But it did not stop there. My teacher confronted the administration team about the situation. The school wasted no time in ensuring that my teachers called me by Brianna instead of Brian. The school embraced my choice and tried to help me through this time in my life.
You are not alone.
I was given a key to a bathroom that was gender neutral. I did not have to worry about deciding what bathroom I should use or what my peers would think. For once in my life, I felt safe and accepted. My grade point average began to get better. I considered things I had never had before. Maybe I could go on to post-secondary education, have a career, and be like the other students.
Students who were more frequently harassed because of their sexual orientation or gender expression had lower grade point averages than students who were less often harassed.
And now, I am here today. My name is Brianna. I've had a sex reassignment surgery and I identify myself as a woman. In my life, teachers have had a huge impact. Some teachers pulled me out of my darkness, while others pushed me in farther. For this reason, I decided to be a teacher. To be the one who makes the change that I want to see in the world, to be there for other students who experience problems in their lives. No matter the scale, no matter what they feel, they are not alone. I want to be the person that a student feels safe to confide in. It is important to make students aware of the terms associated with gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender students. Teachers need to be open to these issues. Refusing to call a student by their preferred name, or even ignoring jokes made by other students, is enough for a child to feel alone and unsafe at school. In most cases, it is the silence surrounding the issue that is the most damaging. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, and questioning youth make up approximately 10% of our population, yet we still do not have the support to be able to teach about these issues. Teachers must educate themselves about diverse, gay, lesbian, and bisexual communities and explore their own attitudes and feelings before attempting to teach. These issues are not a phase in students' lives. Gender identity training for school teachers and school personnel could help to reduce harassment of LGBT youth by empowering school personnel. This issue is no longer restricted to the area of morality, but has now moved into the expensive and public knowledge sector of legality. As the world changes and the expectations of education shift to meet these changes, the nature of teaching and its effectiveness must follow suit. These shifts are not a problem, but rather an indication of how education, as a living practice, is alert to issues of what is called for by this enterprise at important periods of social, economic, and technological change. We are no longer in the factory model of education. It's time to change.